What's up, guys? I'm Brian from South Shore Vape, back with another video. And today, it's all about the Uwell Crown 3. Okay, so the Uwell Crown 3 I picked up at elementvape.com. Before I get on with this tank, I want to let you guys know what's happening. It's been about a month and a half since I've had a video out there. And the reason why is, at first, about a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, I got very sick with some sort of chest cold and I lost my voice. So I couldn't record because I didn't have a voice. And then some of you guys might have noticed that in my more recent videos that I either had a bandage on my left middle finger or a glove on. And the reason for that is because I had a surgery done and they had to amputate the tip of my finger, my middle finger on my left hand. And that happened because I crushed it closing my truck door and it hit it so hard that I lost circulation. It turned blue. Went to the hospital for it because there was an infection on it. They gave me antibiotics. I was supposed to check up with that doctor, and I called to make the checkup, but he stopped taking my insurance. So I just waited for my primary care. So meanwhile, my finger just started turning like funky colors, getting really dry, and eventually what happened is the tip of my finger turned necrotic. And if any of you don't know what necrotic means, it means dead tissue, and it turned black. And so I was covering it up for my videos because I didn't want anybody to see that gruesome finger. But I had the surgery. I had my finger amputated on my left hand, and that's how it looks. As you can see, it's only a little bit shorter. It's still swollen after almost a month. There were stitches in it, and I had this big bandage on for 2 weeks. That's another reason why I couldn't make videos, because I couldn't use this hand. I only had these two hands available. And then once I got it off, there was stitches. They took them out. It hurt like hell. And then I went back a week later. They took the rest of the stitches out. And here I am today. A couple of weeks later. And also I've had a lot of family stuff going on. I've been spending time with my family. But I'm back, and I'm back with a video. So let's get on with the Crown 3 by Uwell. So let me tell you about Uwell a little bit. Their first tank came out about 4 years ago. And it was called the Crown. I don't have it here with me anymore. I used to have it, and that became my personal favorite subohm tank for a long time. Let me have a vape real quick. The flavor was awesome. So they wanted to make something a little bit better because the vaping game's getting bigger and bigger. People like blowing clouds. So they came out with this tank called the Raphael, and that thing sucked. So then they came out with the Crown version 2. And that was all good. There was a big hype about it. And all of a sudden they were making bad coils. And the coils from the Crown and the 2 and the Raphael actually were basically the same coils. I will show you the coils from the different tanks later. And they were interchangeable. You could take the top off the Raphael and put it on the bottom of the Crown airflow. And they were interchangeable. And when I got that, I had no problem with the coils that were in the package. It wasn't until I bought aftermarket coils that I had problems with it. So then they came out with this other tank, because that was a disaster, called the SE1, which was basically the top of the Crown 2 tank, and then the Raphael bottom airflow. And it took the same coils. They improved the coils. The coils to the Raphael and the coils to the Crown 2 are basically the same. It's just the bottom is a little bit different, which I'll show you in the video. But now, just a couple of months ago, they came out with the Crown 3. And let's have a vape, and I'll show you how it does. Not a huge cloud, but not a small cloud. So with this Crown, it's a 24.5 millimeter tank. It's primarily made out of stainless steel. It holds 5 mils of juice, and the coil system is totally different than the Crown 2. I love the flavor on this, and they also come with this nice fancy drip tip. I have the gold and black. That's what comes with the stainless steel color. And their coil options for this is a 0.25 stainless steel coil and a 0.5 stainless coil, just like the other ones. So what I'm going to do now is I'll just show you the box real quick, what it came in, because as you remember, the last couple of tanks came in like this tube thing. This one didn't do it. This one came in a little box, kind of like the original one. Then inside the box, you get, here is the 0.5 coil, which I have not used yet. That's another thing about these coils is the longevity. I was using my Crown 3 tank when I first got it for at least a month, every day for a couple of hours a day, and I put it down for a while, and I picked it back up a while ago and did a video on it, and the flavor is diminished a little bit because it's a little bit old, but at least it lasted a good month until the flavor started diminishing. It's not burnt or dry or anything. It's still going. So I would say they last about a month with good flavor. So also in the packaging, you will get this spare quartz glass. And underneath the box, you get your yummy bath salts for later. Then you get your package of O-rings and gaskets and seals. And then you get this. And a lot of people are wondering what this is. What this is if you guys remember with the Crown 2 that you pop the top off, and in order to unscrew the tank to wash it, that it had that reverse threaded screw. Well, this thing has the same thing, and they provided you with this little tool. And don't worry if you lose this tool, because a flathead screwdriver or tweezers will work in it and untwist it. But that's what it comes with, a little tool. And then of course it comes with your warnings, your FDA warnings and all that BS. And that's what it comes with. So what I'll do is I'll take this tank off to show you a little bit. I want to show you the coils. As you know that there's a removable standard 510 threaded drip tip. 1.5 turns gets the top off. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but right there in the center is that reverse threaded screw. And in order to change the coil in this tank, all you do is you turn it upside down. You untwist the bottom. So here's the bottom right here, and that's what it looks like on the inside. And see, there's the airflow, nice and smooth. But here's the coil right here. This is how the coil goes in. If you want to change your coil, all you do is pop it out and not let it go flying like it just did. So all you have to do to get this back in is you just pop it back in. Then you screw the tank back together and you're good to go. So this tank does come completely apart for cleaning. Alright guys, so what I want to do now is I showed you the tank. Also it is a subohm tank, and it has a gold plated non-adjustable contact pin, which is not hybrid safe. Do not ever put this or any other subohm tank on a hybrid. I have to say that because people still don't know. But anyways, let's dive down onto the table. I'll show you the Raphael, the Crown 2, and the Crown 3. Unfortunately, I do not have the original Crown, but I have coils for the original Crown. So what I'll do is I'll compare the coils also. So let's take a dive down right now. So join me guys, shall ya? Hey guys, so here is the Raphael, the Crown 2, and the Crown 3, all side by side. With them, I have each coil that belongs with each tank. The only single coil you see over here with no tank is the original Crown. I don't have that at the moment. I don't know where it went, so we're going to do it with these three. So as you can see, with the Raphael, these two holes on the top, you got to twist this drip tip. It's non-removable. That's how you open the juice flow. That's how you put your juice in. And here, this is the coil that the Raphael came with. And these coils actually never had problems, but that's the airflow on the bottom. And as you can see that the Raphael has wide open airflow. So then they came out with this one, this baby right here. This is the Crown version 2. What do you know? They look almost identical. That's because they are. They're built basically the same tank. The only difference is that this has a removable drip tip, as we know. Ooh, sorry, hit the camera. And then this one, the top cap comes out, and it has that same screw like the Crown 3. And as you can see, the airflow is much more restricted than it is on the Raphael. And then here is the coils that the Crown 2 had. As you can see, they're basically the same as the Raphael coils, but the bottom looks more like a bullet than like a square thing, as you can see. They're nearly identical. And they are interchangeable, the Crown 2 and the Raphael. You can actually take this top piece off the Raphael, or the bottom piece, and you can put that bottom piece, if you want more airflow, on the Crown 2, or vice versa. So next, here is the Crown 3, the best tank out of them all. As you guys know, it has a removable drip tip. And then this one also is very easy to turn. See, there's that screw I was talking about, guys, right there. And as you can see, it looks very similar to the Raphael and the Crown 2. But here it is next to the Crown 2. It's a little bit shorter and it's a little bit wider. It's 24.5 millimeters. The other ones, I believe, are 24. As you can see the difference. Oh, yeah, see the big difference? This is the Crown 2, the Crown 3, and this is the Crown 2. And then with the Crown 3, here is the coil again. I showed you guys this already. As you can see, it's totally different than the other coils. The other ones you just screw into the base like any other subohm tank and you vape away on it. Alright guys, so this is the original Crown tank. As you can see, look how much less airflow there is. Look how much smaller that the bottom base is. But that's it. These are like the best flavor tanks. I think the Crown 1 had the best flavor, and the Crown 3 has the best flavor. The other two were, metza. But that's all I wanted to show you guys today. I am comfortable with jumping back up to FaceTime and talking to you guys about this Crown 3. So let's do that right now. Alright guys, and that was the Crown 3 by Uwell. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you guys, I really love this tank and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it for anyone who is a beginner to an advanced vapor. The flavor on this tank is awesome. The coil system where you just pop the coil in and you don't have to screw it down and all that is wonderful. And what they also did is with the 0.25, they lowered the vaping range. It's like 70 to 80 watts. The Crown 2, they did that too. They made it, I think, 60 to 80 watts for the 0.25. But the Raphael, that was like 60 to 100 watts. And there was no way that you could vape those tanks at that high wattage without burning out your coil or getting dry hits or any of that. So that's why I like this Crown 3. Another thing I like about this Crown 3 is I like this drip tip that it has. Instead of just a metal drip tip like the Crown 2 had or the Raphael or the original Crown, this one has a Delrin drip tip. A lot cooler on the lips, as you guys know. And the third thing I like about this tank, again, is the fact that it has that screw in it, so you can't unscrew the tank, or if it's too tight, you know, you're trying to get the coil out and the whole tank unscrews. Because that happened on the old one a few times. It was too tight and I unscrewed it, and I ended up unscrewing the top of it and all juice spilled everywhere. So those are the things I like about this tank. A couple of little cons, and they're minor. Just like all the Crown 0.25 resistance coils, this one, the resistance also jumps around, so you got to be careful. And I think that's another reason why they made it not such a high vaping range, and I think it might have something to do with it being a stainless steel coil, which these coils are all stainless steel, just like all the other tanks that they had, so you can use these in temperature control. That's another pro. But other than that, I like it because it's small, and because it's a 0.25 resistance is your lowest resistance. This thing does not kill the battery. Now, it may not win a cloud competition like a Smok TFE12 or a, TFE8, but it produces a nice, satisfying vape for me. So this is the tank that I like to use when I go to work. When I'm going out or something, because it's a lot smaller and I can put it on a smaller device. Like right now, as you guys can see, I have it on my AL85 and it fits perfectly. Let's have a vape. Like I said earlier, it's also a 24.5 millimeter tank, so it fits 5 mils of juice, which is a good amount of juice for this. And it's not a juice sipper by all means, but it's certainly not a guzzler where it's going to guzzle your juice within 2 vapes off it, like some tanks do. And that's another thing I like about it. But the best thing I like about it, like I said, is that battery life, because it's a 0.25 and it doesn't kill your battery like these low resistance that all these super subohm tanks have. I'll have links in the description below to where you can get the Crown 3 by Uwell. I'll also have links below for Advocacy. I'll have links for my Facebook account, and I'll have links for my Instagram. So that does it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm glad to be back. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, share, follow. Also turn on that bell notification so you get a notification every time I put up a new video, because I am back. I'm back to making videos. I'm a little backed up with some of these products, but once I get these couple of products out of the way, I'll be back and updated with everyone else. So that does it for me. Hope you enjoyed, guys. Remember, vape on and have a great day. I'm going to leave with a nice big pull off this Crown 3 by Uwell.